D'Artagnan of the King's Musketeers. Relieved of his duties at court for the day, he hurries to the home of his sweetheart, Constance Bonacieux. Constance is seamstress to the Queen and is expected at the palace, so she cannot tarry long. D'Artagnan! The battle is forming. The Cardinal's Guards. This is no private fight then, eh? The Musketeers against the Cardinal's Guard. It started before D'Artagnan was born. And what are the odds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 guards to 4, 5 to 2, 2.5 to 1? Too simple. Draw your skewer, Monsieur Half Guardsman. Let's measure half a point. On guard! But in the Queen's bedroom, another cry is heard. One of those rare turns of destiny. And Constance is the first to warn the tired, dozing midwife. Concerns the state, and these continuing disputes between his guard and the King's Musketeers. The 4 Musketeers must separate, never to come together again on pain of death. His judgment, oh, a sorry day. The Musketeers are banished, each to his own province, never to visit Paris again, nor set foot beyond the bounds of his own fields. As for you, D'Artagnan, a splendid soldier, reliable, devoted too. You henceforth shall be bodyguard of the future. Five years have passed. France is at peace. The infant prince grows to boyhood. Cardinal Richelieu, driven hard by the responsibilities of high office, lives in semi-retirement. And a royal father educates his son in courtly etiquette. In failing health, His Eminence lives in hourly expectation of death, troubled by word that the second twin bears an identical likeness to the heir. And the ship of state is without its pilot. What was this secret that Richelieu and Constance shared? The other one. Across the Spanish border, the prince's twin brother is reared by servants of the late cardinal. The banished de Rochefort, living nearby, holds the twin under his very eye. He bides his time. He has only to wait patiently for the proper day. Upon the death of Louis XIII, the heir to the throne, or the Dauphin as he was called, became France's King Louis XIV. Both he and his twin had grown to manhood. The brothers are alike as 2 peas in a pod. Years have passed and more since Richelieu bent his iron will to break the bonds that held us 4. But Porthos, Athos, Aramis, I will ride once more. Once more we'll heed the clarion call of all for one and one for all. During the years, de Rochefort's connivings have brought the exiled twin under his control. Suffering in human life is proportioned to human strength. When the young king, stupefied and crushed, found himself led a prisoner to a cell in the Chateau Sainte-Marguerite in the south of France, he fancied at first that death is like sleep and has its dreams. He believed himself to be a spectator, a palpable phantom of his own suffering. Torture the more terrible since it might be eternal. Eternal death. How can I have died? I am a king, yet not a king, enthroned upon a funereal couch. No. No, dear God, do not punish me who have done nothing. Why am I thus punished? Like a cloak, the chill of the dungeon falls upon his shoulders. So dwells the real Louis XIV in a living hell to remain thus the rest of his days. Day by day, night upon night, the prisoner prays for some way to get word to D'Artagnan. A heaven-sent fisherman hoves to. He finishes scratching a message into pewter, and as all good prayers must be, his prayer is answered. Millers and mackerel are running, and then a catch, apparently from heaven. The fisherman reads the name of D'Artagnan, the idol of the nation. A written word, a beloved name, an urgent message. He, a patriot, needs no urging. Paris goes about its daily affairs, unaware that its rightful king languishes in prison, and the Queen Mother herself faces death as the humble fisherman hastens to D'Artagnan's home. D'Artagnan stays on in Paris, and to his hurt, what a man may think when he knows of the approach of death is secret between himself and his Maker. Perhaps the gallant musketeer thinks most of his lost love, Constance, and of all the tender, lonely years kept warm by her memory. He dies in hope of faith that she might welcome him, that once again they might be one. How can they die, these bright ones? How may such energy, once released, be prisoned by earth or stone or grave? We die as we lived, say they, with life. And with life, how can there be death?